Okay, we can get started now that Daryl's here. Roll call, please.
City Council Member, Agency Director, Authority Member Doris.
Present.
Molly.
Present.
Mann.
I'm glad Daryl's present. And I'm present.
Vice Mayor, Vice Chairman Christ.
Present.
What was the
Mayor Paris absent, and we have a quorum.
I'll move to excuse Mayor Paris.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Pledge allegiance. Daryl, since you're late.
Everyone, please stand. Say it with me as I start. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready to begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Daryl.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll open up the Lancaster Housing Authority. We don't have any speaker cards.
No.
Do you want to go ahead, or do we need to?
Okay, then I'll make a motion then to, we can take
We're
both of
approving the Housing Authority consent calendar.
Yeah, consent calendar is comprised.
I second that.
Okay, let's vote.
Oh, we have to do a roll call vote for housing.
Right.
So Councilmember Molly,
Yes.
Mann,
Yes.
Vice Chair Chris,
Yes.
passes unanimously.
Council consent. We have anything to pull? We have no speaker cards.
Yes, Vice Mayor, item number 10 and number 11, I have a conflict of interest given proximity of a piece of property owned nearby.
Okay, we'll do those first.
Okay.
Which one? Which one? Which one did he?
CC 10, CC 11.
Okay. So I make a motion that we approve CC 10 and CC 11 as comprised.
Second that.
We have a motion, second, let's vote. Passes with 3 yes votes with Mr. Mann recusing himself. Bring him back.
He's been in timeout a lot lately, huh?
I know, he's. You back from timeout.
I was trying to be fashionable like Daryl and be late.
I was working.
Okay, the rest of the consent calendar?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent calendar as comprised.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and second pulling CC 10, CC 11 for the rest of the consent calendar. Let's vote. Passes with 4 yes votes. Okay, I'll open the public hearing.
For JPH 1.
We don't have any speaker cards. George, how long is it?
However long you'd like it. No, I'm just kidding. It'll be very, very quick.
Give me the 5-minute version.
Ooh, I can do the 1. All right, let's go to slide number 1. Okay, so really, the mid-year budget adjustment is a review of the first 6 months of activity of the annual budget that was approved back in June of 2022 for fiscal year ending June of 2020. Beginning July 22, ending June of 2023. The analysis that was conducted is really a line item by line item review of the first 6 months of activity. And so what you have before you is a list of adjustments that are going to be approved with your action tonight. And on the screen is a summary of all of those actions. So here we're looking at a citywide revenue and expenditure look, whereby tonight you're approving a reduction citywide in revenue of $1.6 million and a citywide increase of $7.6 million to ultimately total citywide, all funds, which would include LCE, general fund, all the special revenue funds, and such, totaling $450 million for this year's expenditure budget citywide. In the general fund, which is a subset of the citywide, you're making an adjustment tonight to increase revenues, $2.6 million in the general fund, primarily as a result of increased development activity that we didn't anticipate when we wrote the budget back in June. So there's a $1.6 million increase in in development permit and fee activity, which is significant considering what we had already had in the budget. So that's showing a significant increase in activity out there on the streets, and you can see that as you're driving and seeing permits being pulled. And then there's $4.1 million of expenditures that are being recommended to be increased at mid-year, totaling a general fund budget of $150 million. 109 is your operating. The balance is our CIP project. So if you recall, when we originally wrote the budget, we had $20 million of CIP activity in the general fund funded by fund balance, which was a compilation of ARPA money coming in, CARES Act money coming in, surplus revenue from past Measure LC, created this large fund balance that we had to start this fiscal year at, and what we did with that money is put it directly into one-time projects. And so you see $150 million of a total general fund, but $31 million in projects that are being completed inside your general fund, which is pretty significant considering most cities don't fund that many CIP projects out of their general fund. We were able to do it this year with a lot of surplus cash. With that $150 million total budget, that still leaves us with close to $49 million in reserves, 8 of which is about surplus reserves, surplus of the reserve policy that you adopted this last year. And so at this point at the mid-year, we're doing pretty good. There are no major adjustments as to projects being added or deleted at this time. We will advance those conversations to the next year budget cycle, which we start immediately after we adopt this action. We start that next year's budget process. So,
Any questions?
So even with the adding of the new hybrid policing department, we're still flush. We're doing well.
we can afford that hybrid policing model,
Okay.
to answer that question, absolutely.
Okay.
I do want to take this opportunity, if you bear with me, and I think I'm still within my 5 minutes. I do want to acknowledge Michael Allen. Michael Allen has been the city's budget manager for 5 years now. He has chosen to jump in his RV and retire. And so he has since sold his home in Santa Clarita. He's announced his retirement about a month and a half ago. He retires on April 7th. He is the backbone of the budget process. He's the leader of that section in the department. He knows everybody in every department because he knows their budgets. And so I do want to take this opportunity to thank and appreciate Michael for his service here with the city and wish him a great retirement. So if you wouldn't mind standing, Michael. And
Thank you, sir. Are you done?
unless you have questions.
Okay. I'll close the public hearing. We don't have any speaker cards. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve JPH 1.
Second that?
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 23-18. Please vote. Passes with 4 yes votes. Council reports. Darrell?
Well, since everyone was on me about being late, we were excited to do the race ribbon cutting. And many of you know that we have a new communications company that came out this way, and it is just wonderful what they're doing. And they're laying fiber optics, which is at least 50 years of great communications. And we'll have film on it, I'm sure, soon. But the good thing about it is with the equitableness and it's affordable. The rates start at $35, and you can get as much as 10 gigs. So it was just amazing. One thing COVID showed us was that we were very behind in our communication efforts in a lot of places with school and work and churches and different things. So I toured the facility on behalf of the city council, and it's a wonderful facility. They also praised the city on how fast Jason and I saw, is she here? I saw Patty. They praised the city on how well, anytime they ran into an issue, it was no problem, how fast you guys worked. They said that we were the fastest city they ever worked with in trying to get communications and making it affordable for their staff. So Jason, kudos to you, man, and your team. So
are you saying we're the fiber optics of cities?
we are the kings of fiber optics. So yeah, other than that, I don't have anything to report from the SCAG and High Desert Corridor right now.
Raj?
I don't have anything to report.
Ken?
Well, we did the ribbon cutting at the Rural Museum. I thought that was pretty exciting. And then publicly, we found out who the mayor was, and I thought that was a pretty good deal, too, when they made all those announcements. But it was a great day.
You have a video of that?
Yes, sir.
We're opening the Rural Museum. It's a collection of all the artifacts from all over the Antelope Valley for the last 100 years. There's trucks, there's tractors, there's old drive-in movie theater stuff, there's yearbooks, there's everything that you could possibly think of. This is where you need to bring your children to show what the Antelope Valley is all about.
As you tour the museum, you can really see the change in the valley, and really you can see it. Originally, this was all agricultural based. So when people came to the Antelope Valley, typically they were in the farming. The valley's evolved. Obviously, there's been aerospace added and whatnot, but this would be a great way to learn the history of the involvement of the Antelope Valley.
And it was nice to note that both cities were there to do that. I think both
They-
cities. Go ahead.
Now, I'm just going to ask how they let some of the artifacts out. You're missing.
Oh.
Gerald just kills himself, doesn't he?
I have no fear.
Yes, especially being late. Okay. We don't have nothing from the Finance Authority, Power Authority, Succession Agency, City Manager.
Yes, first and foremost, we have a couple of employees to recognize for their promotions. Marisa Diaz and Larissa De La Cruz have been promoted to directors. So give them a big round of applause. They have been successfully working as city employees for a number of years. They're great, not only great people, but great workers, great leaders, and they will serve you and your team well. So we're happy they're on board and looking forward to their promotion and watching their career grow. So thank you, guys. Salute to them. Rod, you may want to give a quick report, public safety, just some of the updates on what you got going on. I know you've been out there in the community talking it up, so you may want to share a couple things.
Absolutely. So we've been making great progress in our hybrid program. We actually are we're hiring, going through the process now of hiring several positions, including the assistant director. We're hiring our law enforcement technicians, which is one of the most important pieces. Those are the individuals that are going to go and help with the report taking and have an effect on response time. We've involved the sheriff's department with that to make sure we make the correct selections. And we're looking at our security officers now and working on that. We continue to address some of the problem locations in the area, and we're about to go to work on Sierra Highway. That is a problem that we are excited to get working on and have an effect on. We're going to make some change out there. So just a lot of good things going on right now.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Rod.
And just note, everybody be safe out there with the weather. We've had a number of what they're calling atmospheric rivers. So everybody be safe, but also a shout out to our team and our workers that are out there. Usually late at night, we're all snug in our beds and they're out cleaning out roads and making sure we can travel safe. So shout out to those guys and be safe when you're around them in the streets. That is a very difficult job they're doing, and being cognizant of their activities is important for all of us to pay attention to. So thank you. That's it.
City Clerk.
This is the time to address the City Council Agency Authority on non-agendized matters. Speaker cards may be found on the back table of the council chambers. If you have completed a speaker card, please ensure you have placed it in the basket so that you may be recognized. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Please keep in mind, state law prohibits the City Council from acting on items not on the agenda, and your matter may be referred to the city manager. Thank you.
Fran.
That was quick. Okay. So push the green button or the red button? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Well, good evening,
How are
Vice
you
Mayor
today?
Chris and council members and the staff and neighbors and friends that we have in the audience. My name is Fran Saris, and I want to start off with a big bang. I have great gratification and thank you. You have people that work for you, that work for us as a city, that do remarkable work. This weekend, one of your employees, he didn't really want me to mention his name, he's a friend, was going by my house on Saturday, and he knocked on my door, and I didn't answer, and he could hear music, or he could hear my TV going, and so he went around and looked at all the windows, and he couldn't see anything happening in the house. He immediately went to the sheriff's department, and immediately, from what he tells me, because I wasn't home, well, I shouldn't have said that. The sheriffs were there, firemen were there, ambulance were there, and the thing of it is, I always tell my neighbor, we always communicate and let him know that I was going to be away for the weekend. I was in San Diego. But he's a senior, he's an elderly person. Anyway, he saw my friend looking around my windows and so forth, and he said, that doesn't look good to him. And I better, anyway, he called my daughter, my youngest daughter, and she happened to be with me, thank God. We were all in San Diego having a birthday party for my son-in-law's mother and his aunt. Well, then he's telling my daughter what's happening, and so since the sheriffs couldn't get in, and thank you very much, they, of course, had to break down my door. But my friend, his name is Demi, anyway, right away, he stood there, and right away because they broke in the front door, but he had to go through my garage door to get out, and he had to leave the garage, gee whiz, it's already. Anyway, he left the garage door, had to leave it open. The sheriff stood guard on my garage, on my driveway, till he went to Home Depot, got some wood to shore up my front door from the inside, and to make me feel safe. I didn't know none of this was going on till I got home the next day, I knew what was happening on Saturday, but there was nothing I could do. I'm 3-4 hours away, so there was no way I could get home in time. But Demi took care of it. And when I came home on Sunday, I was more concerned about my cat, because I was hoping she didn't get out. But no, she went under the couch where she goes when she gets scared. Thank God. That was my main concern. But I wanted to say to Demi and to all of you, you don't realize how much I value this community. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know that I don't care about the break down my door or whatever. If it's going to cost me money, it's going to cost me money. But I don't care. The thing of it is, he had the heart to go and look for me and make sure that I wasn't lying on somewhere And I could see that the sheriffs looked in my house, because I could see where things were muscled, and they looked in the tubs, they looked in everywhere. But I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. I guess whatever else I have to say, I could. My time is up. But
They find the cat?
my cat, luckily, she didn't come out till I got home. But see, I left enough food and water and stuff. I leave it in different places so she doesn't eat it all at one time. But no, she was under the couch as normal, but she was happy to see me because you could, you know your animals. Well, you don't know I know my animal. But I just wanted to make sure I said that, and I wanted to tell everybody that's out there that's watching this on their television set. If you live in an apartment building, if you have friends, go and knock on their door and see if they're there, if they're answering. If they have a phone, call them, check on them, especially apartments where all these seniors live in. And, just make sure. So some of them might not like it because maybe you're invading their private life, but that's what we need to do. And thank you. Thank you very, very much. And God bless you all, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Fran. David Paul. Can't beat that one, David.
Mr. Vice Mayor and Council, good evening. Yes, Fran, thank you very much. I, too, love this community. I was thinking today about one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That's aspirational, but here in this city, we work towards making that a real thing. And because all you guys work so hard, I have such respect for you. And Councilman Doris, I wanted to clean up a little piece of business that we had before when you said something about Britney Spears. I was able to show my wife last night. I did this whole thing, leave Britney alone. And I was able to show her that piece where the guy does that and how that's a meme. And she's, how do you know that? Well, it was popular way back. So that was the whole context of the Britney. Anytime Britney comes up, leave Britney alone. So, but seriously, thank you so much. There's so much going on in this city, and being a relic isn't that bad, Marvin. So I got to support you on that one, Daryl. But we're doing things, and we're making it better. And I was thinking about all this rain, and probably they'll have more will serve letters, so there'll be more development coming, and we'll get more reserve. And so things are looking up. We're going to have enough water to survive another year. But I'm glad I came, and thank you all. Yes, Fran's story is fantastic, and that's just a testament to this community. And I love it here. I thank you all for making that possible. Thank you,
David. Have a good one. Okay. No more speaker cards. Council comments. Raj, do you have anything? I'm not asking Daryl. Ken?
I'm fine.
Sean? You're good? Okay.
Thank
you, everyone. We stand adjourned.
in dealing with the inconsistencies 7 years ago.